While WhatsApp has been a boon for those who like to stay connected, it can be a bane for those who get conned into things easily, And okay, let's not say easily. There are times we all get conned by things, especially by links which are sent from outside. Now we're going to talk about certain scams that happen over WhatsApp. And to talk about this, Manas is there from the Fiber team with me. Manas, you know what? I receive many messages over the SMS, the short messaging service, but it's very rare that I've seen any messages like this which could lead to some sort of a scam come over WhatsApp. So because I see so much of advertising also by WhatsApp about security, what are these scams and how are they managing to slip under the radar of WhatsApp?
Okay. So, see, frauds are very common, scams are very common in the online world. We see scams happening almost on all platforms. Now, one of these things just come to light recently. It's happening very prominently. Even I have received one of these messages.
Yeah, you have.
Yes, and there's a video on Fiber on it as well, so you can watch that. So, what has happened is that random people are, getting they're sending messages to you on WhatsApp. So just one random day message will pop up from a number and it will look like a properly framed message where it says that there is a job vacancy or so opportunity in this firm and these are the requirements, and if you fit the bill, here's a link where you can apply for that job, and they also mention whatever salary that you're gonna get. So and it's usually a very lucrative sum that they put to sort of pull in people. But what happens is once you click on that link, it either redirects you to a website which asks for a lot of your personal information, and eventually you end up giving your data, which could be misused in a lot of ways, which is one part of the scam. The second part of it is where you get a call from a customer care executive, a fraudster disguised as a customer care executive, and they take you through the whole process. They again take you through all the details of the job, and then at the end of it they tell you that there's a round 2 of this process as well, and if you're interested, what you need to do is you need to pay a certain amount of registration fee or an entry fee. It could be 5,000, 10,000 rupees, and once you pay that, we'll call you for an interview or whatever the next stage of the process is. And a lot of people end up paying that amount, and then of course the fraudster disappears. You keep calling on that number, it's not reachable, and you end up losing that amount. And this scam is happening very prominently on WhatsApp these days. As we know, there are a lot of people in our country who are constantly looking for job opportunities, especially the youngsters who just sort of come out of college or are looking for these jobs, and they often fall trap of these sort of scams.
So how does this work? Are these people randomly just targeting people? Because it seems, or is there some sort of a profiling they're doing? Are we getting any information about this?
This is the interesting part, because there is definitely some sort of profiling happening, because you just don't randomly target people. They very categorically, look at people who are in a particular age group, or let's say from a particular region where you believe that a person would be more interested in a job opportunity than someone else, and that sort of increases the chances of them being fooled. So they specifically target those people. Right now, I think the category which I can sort of look at is 17 to 24, 25. That's where they are more operational and trying to target.
Well, my standard thing to everything on WhatsApp is do not respond to any of the WhatsApp calls that are coming which are just from some random numbers. I only pick up a WhatsApp call if it's coming from a regular number which I have saved, because otherwise please don't bother me on WhatsApp. Call me formally.
Oh, I thought you were going to say call Manas. No, don't bother me. Call Manas.
Call formally. And that's the regular way to go. Somehow I feel WhatsApp is a more intimate way of connecting with a person. So I do not, if it's a professional call, I expect people to call on that. Similarly, messages also that are coming on WhatsApp. If it's coming from a random number which is not saved in my address book, I don't even bother about it.
Exactly. Don't engage. Don't engage with these numbers. Don't engage with these elements, because see, even if you're getting a message, doesn't mean that you'll be, a fraud is going to happen with you unless you end up engaging with that number. So don't click on that link. Even if somebody is calling you, end up taking that call. And you see, there are a lot of red flags that these guys have and they give. So first of all, you need to check even if they're saying that they represent certain company, do a background check before paying any amount. You need to go and check, and sometimes you may actually find a legit website on the internet, but then do a history check ki kitne saal se website, it shouldn't be a entirely new website, or are they operational on certain social media platforms, do they have legit accounts or not, and if they have proper details and all, and if then you feel that fine, this seems like a legitimate operation, even then do not pay that amount over just a phone call. At least go and meet someone.
And anyway, nobody asks you for so much money to hire you. I mean, that just does not make sense. They're supposed to be paying you for your work. Why should you be giving them the money? Firstly, that. Secondly, why do they need certain details? I understand they need your educational qualification, your experience, maybe your name, maybe your parents' name, but why anything beyond that? All they need to know is whether you qualified or not, or whether the amount of experience you say that you have is true or not. You should not give out your details to anyone.
Even in a professional environment, whenever you're going to join a new organization, they only ask for details once you are there.
Yeah.
I mean, at the date of joining, not even before the process has started. So you don't, I mean, that's very obvious that somebody is trying to, and a lot of these frauds also happen because people are in a desperate situation. They are either going through some crisis, they desperately want that opportunity, and that is when your brain stops sort of working. So I suggest just pause, take a 2-second pause, think about it before reacting, because as I said, a fraud is only going to happen if you're going to engage and react. So don't do that.
And one thing I've realized, I would call it information or statistics, not a statistic, sorry, an piece of information that may be very public right now, but is extremely important, is your date of birth. I mean, how many times have you called up your bank and they ask you to verify that? Just think about it. When they want to verify who you are, whether you are Anjali Istwal or not, they'll ask you, what's your date of birth? So you tell them that. So imagine, and that's such a publicly available, I mean, we guys keep putting it out everywhere, but these are the things these are the red flags. When someone is asking you for details, which you usually give to a bank, just does not make sense.
Also, most of these URLs, also the link that they send you on the message,
oh my God,
they don't make any sense. Yeah, I mean, if you even do a basic spell check, you will realize that, the spelling, it doesn't make any sense. This is just random alphabets put together to frame a URL. So that is another way to figure out that this is actually a spam. And I mean, the last thing is obviously like nobody is giving away jobs for fun. I mean, with all due respect, there is a major unemployment problem in our country, so nobody is giving jobs for the fun of it. So if somebody has reached out to you randomly, it's obviously a point of concern. Should be a point of concern.
Yes, absolutely. Anyway, if you liked the video, do give us a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to India Today for more news updates.
Also, if you guys had any such experience, you can definitely share it with Anjali. If you have some stories like this, or if you have been reached out for some sort of, this thing which you figured out was a fraud, or you couldn't figure out and you fell victim to it, we'll definitely share these.
Yes, we will share it on our platform. So like and subscribe India Today.